Good afternoon, I'm Tom Goward and these are your 3:30 sports headlines. Formula One has returned to China for the first time in 5 years. It's the first sprint weekend of the 2024 calendar, which has seen qualifying already take place. British McLaren driver Lando Norris took pole with 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton in second. Current championship leader Max Verstappen positioned his Red Bull in fourth for the sprint. It's been a tough week for the English teams in Europe, and that was followed up with 2 more teams being knocked out last night. Liverpool and West Ham saw their exit from the Europa League following defeats to Atalanta and newly crowned German champions Bayer Leverkusen. It was a sad night for Liverpool fans as it saw manager Jurgen Klopp take charge in his last game in Europe for the Reds. Klopp gave credit to the Italian side on their win.
And that's why we have to, and it's very easy to congratulate Atalanta Bergamo because they deserve to go through.
Speaking of missing out in Europe, the Premier League may miss out on the 5th spot for the Champions League. Italy and Germany lead the way in coefficient points and therefore will gain the extra spot in next season's 32-team competition. If the Premier League want the extra spot, they're having to rely on Aston Villa going all the way in the Conference League. Whilst the 5th spot in the Premier League may not guarantee Champions League football this season, a Europa League spot is up for grabs for the winners of the FA Cup. First, however, we have the semi-finals to contest. Kai McKenzie has more.
This weekend sees the return of the FA Cup with the semi-finals taking place on the hallowed Wembley turf. On Saturday, Chelsea take on Manchester City, who were put to the sword by Real Madrid on Wednesday. Pep Guardiola's side is still in the hunt for a domestic double, with the possibility of a league title and FA Cup still on the horizon. Man City midfielder Bernardo Silva spoke in his press conference before the game on Wednesday about not wanting to leave anything on the table and squeezing everything his side can out of the remaining games.
Because as I said, in 1 week we could be out of all the competitions. But we're fighting for it, and we're going to do everything in our power to each day be a step closer to that goal.
In the opposition dugout, Mauricio Pochettino and his billion-pound bottle jobs, as described by Gary Neville during their 1-0 loss to Liverpool in the League Cup final. However, Pochettino has faith in his young squad.
We are going to keep it strong and believing in this project and see what we can do in the future.
In the other semi-final, 12-time winners Manchester United face off against Championship Coventry, who had their only appearance in the final in the 1986-87 season. United boss Erik ten Hag spoke on the improvements his side have made in the second half of the season, but still expects further improvements to be made on the pitch.
We are happy with being at semi-final, but we have to keep going. We're defending better, so I'm happy with the progress of this team.
The stage is set for 2 enthralling ties. Will we see a repeat of last year's final contested between the 2 Manchester clubs? Will Chelsea salvage their season with some silverware? Or will there be an underdog story with the Sky Blues of Coventry in the final?
The Football Association announced yesterday they are scrapping replays in England's oldest competition, the FA Cup. Lower league clubs took to social media to voice their disapproval of the change. Joining us now is Jack Bunclark, who's part of the media team at National League side Eastleigh. So Jack, how's it gone down?
Oh, it's gone down terribly. A lot of the EFL and non-league clubs have condemned the actions of the FA and the Premier League. Eastleigh came out with a press release yesterday and said it's a disgraceful action, and it's just gone down terribly with all not involved in the Premier League.
And obviously you part of Eastleigh's FA Cup run against Newport, who then went on to play Manchester United. What does this do to a club like Eastleigh financially? Financially,
it's huge. You know, it could set up a club for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, like Chris Wilder said in his interview or his press conference earlier with Sheffield United. It can really lead to many great things and just save a club from liquidation potentially, like Exeter City at the turn of the century.
Perfect. Thanks for joining us, Jack.
Thank you.
In tennis, Emma Raducanu is having her best run of form since the 2021 US Open. The 21-year-old Brit has now had her 4th successive win as she looks towards her quarter-final clash against Iga Swiatek at the Stuttgart Open. The match will get underway at 4 p.m. today. The Southern Vipers are preparing to head into another season after winning the double last campaign. Jack Bunclark has been to the Ageas Bowl to chat to some of the staff and players.
we're here at the Ageas Bowl for Southern Vipers Media Day. We're going to speak to some of the players and the staff to see what they think of the upcoming season, which starts this Saturday. The Southern Vipers are looking to take another season by storm, with their first fixture kicking off this weekend. The Hampshire side are thriving for another successful season and hoping for another impressive campaign after completing the double last year, winning their respective league and cup. They are currently coached by former England women's captain Charlotte Edwards, who is ambitious and hoping for more of the same for the start of this year.
Yeah, really excited. Another season's come around pretty quickly. And obviously we start down at Beckenham against the South East Star. So, team are really looking forward to it, and hopefully another successful season ahead. I guess one of the ambitions is to win both trophies, but that's going to be pretty tough. But to do it in the fashion we did it in, was really, really pleasing. And hopefully we can try and replicate that again in 2024.
It is also extremely important to keep spirits high and the togetherness within the squad after a long winter break. George Adams, who is the captain of the side, feels that the squad and the entire culture around the team are in a really strong position.
Yeah, we've worked really hard on our culture here, and I think there's a lot of integration, not just from us as a club with our men's team here, and also with the academy programme, and I think it works so smooth for us. It's important for us to get our academy coaches in and around the senior group so they know how to filter that down to the academy, and togetherness and culture is something that we focused on here, and we've got a great group, and I'm really fortunate to have such a great bunch of players underneath me.
The aim for the season is a simple one. The Vipers are aiming to build on the double winning campaign from last year. Batter Maya Bouchier has outlined how important head coach Charlotte Edwards and our staff was for last season's successful campaign, and how fundamental she is to their team.
It's so vital. She makes everything work. She always does all the hard work for us, and we just have to go out there and play the way we play, and she obviously has created that environment for us to do that. So it's so important to have a coach who can get you playing your best cricket, and just know how you work, and the individual performances, and that always comes into it, but the team behind it is so important.
It was the 12th round of the Premier League darts in Rotterdam last night. Nathan Aspinall picked up his second nightly win and moves to third in the table. The Asp overcame Michael Smith in the final 6-4. Next week sees the league return to the UK and to Liverpool, where Aspinall will face world number 1 Luke Humphries. In golf, and it's the first women's major championship of the year. Lauren Coughlin leads the way after day 1 at 6 under par. World number 1 Nelly Korda is in tied second place and is looking for her 4th win in a row. We've got a big weekend coming here at Solent University. The sports journalism course will be holding its second ever Soccer Saturday in its history. Rhys Barrett can tell us more about what's to come.
We are less than 24 hours away from our final Solent Sports Saturday of the academic year. We've got 5 panellists who will be in the studio behind me. We've got reporters out across the entire country. And as always with these Saturday shows, you're in for a treat. We've had reporters stamp their passports to cover football outside of the country, while others stayed closer to home to try the greatest local footy scran.
And it's still beautiful as ever.
We've even had YouTube royalty join the show unexpectedly, and we've had our most passionate reporters pitchside.
They just got a second goal!
Well, hello Solent Sports News fans, my name's Ollie Howard. I'm going to be the presenter for the upcoming Solent Soccer Saturday, the last one of the academic year, and we want to make it the best yet. I'm making loads of notes, meticulously researching all of the games that our panellists are covering, the ones we've got on location, and that's not all. We've got pre-match build-up. We're going to be talking everything England, who's going to be in the squad, who might not get into the squad, and also a very interesting mystery player segment so you can all get involved with at home. Hope you really enjoy it. And like I said, let's make it the best of the lot.
But what's in store tomorrow? Well, we've got full coverage of the championship promotion race as Southampton travel to Cardiff. Can they stay close to the automatic spots? You have all the live coverage on our show. And we'll also have live coverage from the Utilita Bowl. We'll be watching Hampshire take on Warwickshire and bringing live updates. So join us tomorrow at 2 o'clock on our YouTube channel, where we'll be right here in the studio for our last Solent Sports Saturday of the academic year. You do not want to miss this one.
That's all for now, but make sure to join us back here at 2 p.m. tomorrow for our Solent Soccer Saturday. In the meantime, check out our website, solentsportsnews.com.